We see a ridiculously handsome man, movie star level handsome, kneeling in a full-on proposal pose in front of Huna. With all the drama of a K-drama final episode, he looks her straight in the eye and declares he is going to entrust her with everything. Huna, like every delusional girl on the planet, or maybe just every girl ever, her mind spiraling. Is this a proposal? Is he proposing? But her dreams are crushed in the most savage way possible when the man suddenly continues, this is the key to his house. And if she can take care of it? No, absolutely not. No way this man got into a full-blown romantic kneel just to ask her to be his maid. Huna's entire soul short-circuit. Why did he strike that pose if all he wanted was a housekeeper? But let's rewind and start this disaster of a tale from the beginning. 10 years ago, dungeons suddenly opened all over the world. Reality flipped upside down. Monsters poured out, chaos reigned, and humanity looked about as helpless as a kitten in a flood. But just when the world teetered on the edge of total annihilation, bam, the metahumans appeared. With crazy powers, they hunted the monsters, cleaned up the mess, and brought back some semblance of order. But the dungeons didn't vanish entirely. So now, in this new society, metahumans and the guilds they form basically hold the entire world together. And those who fight on the front lines, the hunters? They're celebrities, gods among mortals, rich, glamorous, risking their lives for humanity and getting paid in cash and admiration. Naturally, none of this concerns a completely ordinary office worker like Huna. She's too busy dying from overwork and bad lighting. Until one day, bam, a notification slams into her vision. She's awakened. Wait, what? It's her third day of non-stop overworking, so naturally, she assumes she's hallucinating, sleep-deprived, delirious. What even is this document saying? She stares harder. Is it calling her the document? Is she the subject? She's so stunned she forgets how to breathe. Another coworker dashes and shouts if she lost all the data, but Huna is like, don't you dare jinx it. Huna stammers that it seems like she got awakened. The gremlin's eyes go wide. She immediately goes into full Q&A mode, firing questions about Huna's stats like she's an MC in a leveling simulator. But Huna shrugs her off, saying the system is still searching for a suitable class. She then mutters something tragic about how she's probably going to be combat type. 80% of people are, right? Maybe this is her big break. Maybe now she can finally escape this broke office life unless she awakens as something lame. Still, she glances down at a photo of her older brother, a D-rank hunter. She wonders what dungeon he might be exploring right now. She doesn't care about ranks, she just wants him to come back home alive. While everyone else is wide-eyed and buzzing with energy, Huna's eyes are watering because her system still hasn't finished scanning. Even worse, the delay is draining her friend's battery life. Reluctantly, she tells them to head home without her. She laughs and tells her not to forget her once she becomes an S rank. Now the office is silent again, and poor Huna is left with the crushing reality of her workload. She tells herself she better focus. It's not like some S rank is going to swoop in and finish her work. She's heard that metahumans have better stamina and strength than normal people. So maybe if she awakens properly, she can finally keep up with all this overtime without dying on the inside. But then again, is that really the first thought she has after awakening? Not riches? Not fame? But she hopes she can work more overtime? Reality slaps her in the face. No matter how hard she tries, her workload never shrinks. She mutters darkly about how this whole damn company needs to be thrown into a dungeon. Suddenly, boom. Everything shakes. Huna freezes. Earthquake? She instinctively ducks under the desk. But nope. This isn't your average quake. There's lightning involved. Are quakes supposed to come with thunder these days? Her eyes flutter open and she's no longer in the office. The setting is completely different. A dungeon? Huna can't believe it. She thought getting swept into a dungeon was a thing that only happened in sensationalist news articles. But no! It's her. Of course it's her. Denial hits her hard. She glares at the empty air. Why her? She doesn't even win lottery tickets. Why would fate bless her with this? And to make things worse, she was working overtime. In the middle of the night. No one's going to notice she's missing. No hunter teams will come charging in to save her. Tears prick her eyes. What the hell is she supposed to do? She whispers to the void. She really doesn't want to die. Not before getting married, at least. Just then, ding! The system completes the class search. She claps her hands together and prays with everything she's got. Every god, Buddha, Allah, please make her a combat type. And now, y'all are not ready. Because the class she gets is housekeeper. Huna just stares. She's shaking. She's cackling. She's dying inside. This is the funniest thing that could possibly happen. Forget S-rank swordsman or flame mage. She got housekeeper. Y'all better be ready because this manhwa is about to be insane. She absolutely cannot believe this. Not only did she awaken with the housekeeper class, but on top of that she's been assigned a D rank. D rank. As if the universe wasn't done clowning on her already. Even F rank's literal bottom of the barrel awakeners start with stamina stats over 40. 40! Meanwhile, this girl right here? Huna's total stats barely reach 9. 9. She's practically built like a paper towel. The only stat that's remotely decent is her luck, and honestly, what's the point? What is she supposed to do? Win a raffle to escape death? As she spirals into existential crisis mode, things take a turn for the worse because of course they do. Out of nowhere, a giant dinosaur appears, letting out a roar that sounds like a car crash mixed with a thunderstorm. Huna screams. Like, full volume, no dignity kind of scream. And then she runs. Well, she tries to run. The problem is, with an agility stat of 6, she might as well be dragging bricks on her feet. Even if she had 300 agility, this dino is not the kind of thing you outrun. At this rate, she's dead meat. Like, actual meat. Barbecue ready. Then she sees it a swamp. Girl launches herself into it like a dramatic action hero because, hey, drowning might be better than getting chewed into dino nuggets. But plot twist, it looks like the dinosaur has water phobia? Could this be her chance? Nope. Another dinosaur emerges from the water like it's the final boss of an underwater dungeon. A water-type dinosaur. Because of course there's a second one. Even after using every last drop of energy in her sad little stats, she can't outrun it. She's stuck. This swamp is officially her grave. Or not. The two dinosaurs apparently have beef. Literal dino rivalry. As they start fighting each other like it's a WWE championship, Huna seizes the miraculous opportunity and bolts. Maybe that useless seeming luck stat isn't so useless after all. Finally escaping the hellspawn lizards, she stumbles her way into some dense bushes. She needs to hide. She needs a place to breathe before a rescue team or whoever gets here. She was so busy getting chased that she didn't even have time to check her skills. Turns out she has a skill that lets her create a cozy bed. A bed. Out here. In a murder swamp. Still, she's desperate. She activates the skill, and it passively triggers another one that helps her pluck materials from nearby plants. It's like her hands have auto-gathering mode turned on. With considerable effort and several breakdowns, she actually manages to gather enough good quality materials to get a B rank in plant plucking. Yes, Queen. She's a certified field botanist now. Following the system's instructions, she crafts her adorable, cozy little grass bed complete with blanket. The system even announces that this bed solves food problems too, since she happened to pluck some edible plants. She's finally about to get some rest. Poor girl really thought she'd made it. But no! No. Because the moment she tries to nap, a snake appears, absolutely ready to devour her like a midnight snack. In a panic, she hides inside her self-made bed like it's a bunker. And miraculously it works. The snake slithers away, uninterested. She nearly cries from relief. She can't believe how scared she just got. This is real. This is survival. This is trauma. She plops down on her grass bed, emotionally destroyed, physically wrecked, spiritually resigned. The bed is actually cozy just like the system promised. Maybe it's the stress, maybe it's the adrenaline crash, but she starts to feel really sleepy. She tells herself she shouldn't sleep. Not in a monster-infested swamp dimension. That's a terrible idea. But tell that to her eyelids. They close anyway. And finally, when she cracks one eye open, she sees a silhouette leaning over her. Someone is asking if she is dead? Then, with what sounds like reluctant curiosity, the stranger adds, "No, maybe she is alive?" She jolts upright like she just got zapped. There's a woman standing there. She says she thought she was one of those plant-human monsters that lay around like corpses, but turns out, she's just a weirdly sleeping human. Huna, wrapped in her grass blanket like a burrito of shame, can only stare. Yep, this is her life now. She sees that she is a hunter, an actual hunter, and starts thanking her like she is some holy savior sent down by the gods of near-death experiences. Finally, someone sane. She can breathe now. She must have noticed she'd been through hell and then some. She nods rapidly and confirms, yes, she's been thriving through chaos, thank you for asking. Then, Naturally, she asks if she got the dungeon boss. She replies that it was absolute mayhem, like a flash sale in a haunted department store, but they managed to subdue it. Barely. Turns out the dungeon was only E rank, which makes her question everything, especially the fact that she barely made it out alive. Honestly, even cockroaches had more survivability stats than her. Then, she casually hits her with the question of doom, if she is a merahuman? Goosebumps. Literal goosebumps. Her whole spine does a backflip. How the hell did this girl figure that out? Is she psychic? She explains, like it's no big deal, that she was able to purify the corrupted mana. Only merahumans can do that, apparently. She stares at her with that annoying calm intensity, like she is reading her birth chart and entire trauma arc. Then drops another bomb. There are no missing merahumans listed in the national database, and oh yeah, hiding your abilities is a crime. Huna scrambles to assure her that she literally fell into the dungeon right after awakening pure accident, while working overtime. She then proceeds to dump her entire lore on her like a player explaining their backstory in a tabletop RPG. She nods like she has heard better but says it's a solid tale. Then, just as she thinks she's done embarrassing herself, she asks the most cursed question of all time. What's her class? She freezes. Hane? Did she really just ask that? With the weight of shame pressing on her chest, she whispers it like a dark secret. Housekeeper. He blinks. What? She yells at this time. Housekeeper, okay? She blinks again, because what even is that? Who gets a class like housekeeper in this day and age? Is she about to summon a mop and scream at dust bunnies? She bursts into laughter. She has never heard of a lamer class in his life. Just for fun, she asks to see her will, and lo and behold, it's full of cozy healing magic and plant plucking skills. She laughs again, louder this time, calling it a true cleaning class experience. She huffs. This so-called lame class nearly saved her from getting her killed. Thank you very much. Before the comedy show can continue, another voice cuts in. It's a man asking what are doing here, like he is ready to call HR. Turns out this guy is none other than Jong, one of the few A-rank hunters in the world. They call him the Destroying Hand, South Korea's #1 hunter. Not only is he competent, but he's so good-looking that if anyone is unable to recognize him slightly, they're immediately suspected of being a spy. Huna had thought he just looked good on TV. But in real life? Real life is doing him favors TV couldn't even imagine. This man is ridiculous. The girl jumps over to Huna and tells Jong to stop nagging. She was just chatting with this freshly hatched merahuman. She laughs, teasing Jong about whether he wants to know Huna's class too. He sighs and says no thanks, he's not trying to pry into personal files like a government agency. Then he frowns at Huna like an overworked dad and says she shouldn't be so casual about revealing her abilities to strangers. He figured she was a high-rank awakener from how she acted mature. She really had him fooled with that I have my life together energy. He warns her again, keep your powers low-key. Huna shrugs it off, saying it's fine. Her abilities are too low-rank to be useful anyway. This makes the other girl low-key happy because why is Huna being chill and humble while she's trying to be dramatic here? Still, Jong agrees it's better not to share personal data like free samples. The hunter girl clicks her tongue and says Jong still acts like a grandpa despite being young. But she adds to Huna that this is right, SHW shouldn't go telling people about her rank, and says sorry for being fussy. He tells the girl it's okay after all, she saved her. She can at least tell her this much. The girl softens, gives her a weird little look, and admits that she actually likes Huna. Like, really likes her. How is she talking so comfortably? Not a single male within her aura radius dares to make a joke around her. She even calls Huna her soul Mickey. What does that even mean? Huna, caught between confusion and concern, wonders if basic manners have just died. The girl hands her a shiny card with a number and says to call her. They'll hang out sometime, get Korean barbecue, maybe even talk awakening gossip. Sounds chill. Then Huna notices a roll-up with the name Mina written on it. Ah. So Mina is her name. Mina tells her it's time to go. As she starts to walk off, Huna calls out, thanking her for rescuing her. Mina assures her it was no big deal, and asks for her name too. They finally exit the dungeon. Huna, now out in the real world again, feels a bit sore but figures she's fine, probably just dungeon lag. Until her eyes widen. The entire surrounding area? Chaos. Ruins. It looks like a battlefield where the dungeon gate had spat out the apocalypse. Mina fills her in with a dramatic sigh. Everything got sucked into the gate. The scene is wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. And all that for an E-rank dungeon. Huna's shoulders slump. She really didn't expect things to go this sideways. A helper rushes up, flustered, asking if she's okay and whether he should call someone for her. She waves him off, telling him she's fine. But deep down, the only thing running through her mind is, her house is gone, her workplace is gone, her paycheck also gone. In conclusion, today has been taxing. Huna is deep in denial. Apparently, she intentionally aimed for a workplace near her house, thinking it'd be convenient. Who knew both would get blown up together? She's now quietly cursing every gate in existence, but seriously, what else can she do? Cry? She already did that. Twice. Even the workers around her are whispering things like, did she lose a screw? Another one mutters that she probably lost her house, too, poor soul. Which is fair because, yeah, the company that used to give her a paycheck, also gone. All of it. But hey, good news! She got compensation for her house, so she comes trudging back to her personal pile of rubble. Not because she thinks there's anything left, but because it was her first long-term home after a chaotic run of short-term rentals. She gets teary-eyed just looking at the ruins. She tries to sit on the dirt like it's a couch and channel some emotional healing. Then suddenly beep! A screen flashes up. Apparently, she just unlocked a new skill, Home Sweet Home. She doesn't understand a single word of it. Like, is this supposed to be a therapy coupon or a literal home skill? It claims it can provide her with a house. Huna blinks. Is this a scam or is she winning a spiritual lottery? Still, she feels iffy. Because the conditions to unlock this were seriously weird. But hey, trying won't kill her, right? So, following the age-old advice of every protagonist ever, she shouts the system keyword, Sweet Home. A portal opens. A literal portal. She peeks inside. It looks empty. She steps in like she's checking out a suspicious Airbnb, wondering if this is actually her new house. And of course, the system takes an eternity to load. Just her luck. She stands there awkwardly, realizing her hands are still filthy and she really needs to wash up. Priorities. Finally, the system completes the adjustments. Lights start flashing. Like, flashing everywhere. It looks like she's about to enter a penthouse hosted by disco balls. The brightness is so intense she nearly goes blind. She starts squinting, half convinced she's about to be handed the keys to a luxury sky suite. Then she opens her eyes and Sweet Home, my butt. The notification says she received a D-rank house suited to her current needs. Apparently, a study-based housing system is better than being homeless. Except this house looks more like an underground dungeon with trauma built into the walls. Naturally, she rushes to check the bathroom first because duh, that's the most important thing in life. Only to discover it's in even worse condition than the rest of the house. She shuts the door dramatically. She's done. She now fully understands why public restrooms exist. Goodbye, romantic dreams of domestic bliss. Then, a new notification pops up. Would she like to sign a contract with the studio? Huna blinks. Absolutely not. She begs the system to grow a conscience and give her another house. But the shameless system pops up again with the same question. And now the no option is just gone. Gone. Vanished into the same black hole as her dignity. She really hates this house. And yet, with no other choice left on the screen, she gives in. She presses yes. She already knows she's being scammed. But still, the system congratulates her like she just bought a villa. She tries to be positive. She tells herself to focus on the bright side. At least she's not homeless anymore. She can always clean this place up, right? Another notification pops up. Congratulations. You've obtained your own house. She can't believe it. Not only did this system throw her into this roach nest of a house, but now it's actively mocking her. The system even throws glittery text on screen, saying, a good housekeeper is one who keeps the house sparkling clean. It also informs her, quite rudely, that her homeowner skills are inadequate and will require a lot of training. Huna can't believe this betrayal. She was genuinely trying to be hopeful. But now, the system is out here throwing shade like it's a reality show villain. As if that wasn't enough, a bug appears. Yes, an actual bug. She kicks it on instinct, which triggers the active skill, Pest Hunt. Turns out, Pest Hunt is wildly violent. Also turns out it wasn't just any bug. It's a talking snail. She stares. The snail glares back. This is her life now. She immediately panics, thinking she just murdered someone important. She apologizes profusely, trying to explain that she was just shocked. Honestly, she didn't expect talking insects. Who does? The snail, unimpressed, continues glaring like it's her high school principal. Finally, like a good girl, Huna bows her head and apologizes properly. Then she timidly asks if he was the one who congratulated her for getting her new house. That must explain why the system's tone suddenly went from annoying robot to weirdly enthusiastic life coach. She wonders aloud who this snail really is. He doesn't look like a normal mollusk. Which is true, because, in a dramatic flex, the snail reveals he's not a normal snail. He's the home administrator of the Sweet Home Club, and he's really looking forward to her cooperation. Now she is taking a bath in a public bathhouse, and she feels really good here. After all, she truly couldn't bear to wash in that miserable bathroom back home. She's genuinely glad that her credit card was in her pocket. What a stroke of luck. Now, she has to visit the dungeon management office to get her ID card reissued. She also needs to get her phone and other essential belongings. On top of that, she has to contact her workplace. There are so many things she has to handle, but she decides to soak here for a little while longer. The next day, she gets her ID card reissued. She notices that the damages caused by the dungeon incident have been repaired surprisingly quickly. However, it's clear from the condition of the workers that things are far from okay. The fatigue and hardship written across their faces speak volumes. She considers getting her phone back right away, and yes, contacting her brother. She manages to get access to her savings as well. Still, a heavy feeling settles in her chest. She's heard that even skilled workers are struggling to find jobs these days because of the economy. She wonders with growing anxiety if she'll ever be able to find work again. But this girl is full of determination. Instead of sinking into those thoughts, she pushes herself to start dealing with things one by one. Things might seem hopeless now, but they're still better than how they were 10 years ago. At least she awakened, even if it was to a dirty class. At least she has a house, even if it's pathetic as hell. Thinking about all this somehow makes her a little happy. Maybe now she's headed back to her pathetic, cute, and dirty house. Her arms are really tired by the time she gets there, but the one good thing is that she can call that place home. Just saying the word home makes the gate open, no matter where she is. As soon as she enters, the snail who behaves like a toxic mother-in-law starts nagging her about how slow she is. The snail keeps up its snarky remarks, but she fires back, shouting that it's already so late. Does it not understand how hard it is to carry 20 kilos worth of stuff? And that's just the basic supplies. The snail looks at her and says she should have gone to different markets to compare prices. She snaps again, saying she was way too busy to go to multiple stores just for price matching. Besides, it's better to choose a mix of cheap and expensive products from one place. The snail, surprisingly, acknowledges the rationality in her argument. With a sigh, it orders her to start cleaning immediately. She gets ready to begin, but the truth is she can't believe that she is wearing shoes inside. If my Asian mom had seen this, she might have had a heart attack. Just as she's about to start, the snail yells at her to stop. She groans, "What is it now?" The snail points out that she's missing the most basic thing, proper cleaning attire. She looks down at herself and argues that her current outfit should be good enough, but the snail starts lecturing her. She should at least be wearing a bandana and apron. The system presents her with two outfit options, maid clothes and gloves. She's annoyed, but luckily, she just happens to have an apron today. Any cloth can be used for the bandana. Once she's dressed for the task, her cleaning efficiency increases to 50%. She's genuinely glad that the system is offering something useful. Even better, she acquires a new skill, one that allows her to bring satisfaction to others through skillful workmanship. She and the snail bump fists. They're going to do their best. 3 houses later, she's standing in one that now looks like a Greek-style estate, having poured her heart and soul into cleaning it. Despite her hard work, her shrewd hand's proficiency has only increased to 12%. She runs some calculations in her head, though she admits she's terrible at math. Still, the rough result shows that if she cleans 8 hours a day, she'll need about 21 more days to master the skill. That means she'll be ranking up in about 3 weeks. But right now, she's already completely drained after cleaning just 3 houses. The snail yells again, telling her break time is over. She really wants to rest just a little longer, but her stomach starts growling violently, and she can't ignore it anymore. The girl heads to the food bin. The snail brings out her meal, and oh my god, it looks delicious. The snail watches as she eats like she hasn't had food in days. She finishes everything, even the portion she had set aside for tomorrow's lunch and breakfast. Normally, just 1 roll would have been enough for her, but she must have been really worn out. Either way, now that she's recharged, it's time to start cleaning again. She sweeps the floor and can't believe how magical it feels. Was this floor always this nice? Cleaning it feels almost like casting a spell. So this is what real housekeeping feels like. Maybe. But still, she'll never like it. The realization alone triggers the system to reward her with 500 points. She can't believe it. This damn system is actually giving her this many points? Maybe this whole thing really is worth it. And with all her effort, she finally manages to clean the house. It ends up even cleaner than her teeth. She even scrubs the bathroom, the dirtiest part of all. At last, the old studio reaches level 2. She gets teary-eyed. The house's level has gone up. She starts rambling to the snail, asking what she's going to get with all this rank and high skills. The snail, of course, is all set and ready to give her a full presentation about the ranking system. If it continues to rise, she'll eventually become a great housekeeper. She laughs bitterly. Wasn't that what she expected from this ridiculous system in the first place? Someday, maybe in another world, she might become the pillar of body and mind, the peacekeeper of the world. But for now, peace at home is peace everywhere. She is then asked if she would like to receive the reward for leveling up, and of course, who wouldn't want rewards? The loading bar starts ticking along, but she wonders why the rewards are handed out through a random draw system. The load finishes, and it turns out she's gotten a mattress. Oh my god, this is actually hilarious. She feels bad for herself. She can't believe it. Even the system's description says something like, yes, she is going to get a really decent sleep on it. For her, this is utterly a terrible game with terrible probability mechanics. But then reality sinks in. It's still better than sleeping on the floor. Frustration starts bubbling up again. She checks the time. It's 8 o'clock. She reaches into her bag and finds some chips she brought. As she opens them, the crumbs start falling onto the floor. She tells the snail to just let her eat first and that she'll clean up afterward. But then she notices something. The snail's body is changing, likely due to the effects of leveling up. Like every girl would, she gets all excited seeing it sparkle. Then she asks what his name is. He says he doesn't have one, and Snail is fine. It's a no from her. They're going to live together, after all. There's no way she's going to keep calling him Snail. Since he's, well, a snail, she suggests Shelly. But he doesn't seem to like it. He says he prefers Administrator. For her, that name sounds way too technical. She suggests Polly next. It's perfect. He's shiny, a little like Mickey Mouse, and so colorful. He grumbles that he'll think about it, but she can see his mouth twitching. It's obvious he likes it. Finally, it's approved. She's now looking forward to living with Polly. Seeing this beautiful house, even Huna herself is at a loss for words. She can't believe she really did all of this. Even Polly acknowledges her efforts. It was a real struggle for her to move all the furniture on her own, and her back was still aching from it all. But in return, she got a really nice toilet, a compact refrigerator that doesn't produce ice, and as her level 5 reward, she receives a mold remover. Since the house is pretty much clean now, all she needs is a job. Neither her brother nor the companies she applied to are responding. She sighs. Still, she'll keep trying. One day, she might get a reply. Then suddenly, she realizes she forgot to say thank you to Mina. But is it really okay to call a hunter from the Blue Dragon Guild out of nowhere? There are several guilds for awakeners in South Korea. The White Lion Guild is known for its specialization in magic and dungeon research. The Last Killed Guild is a small group of the strongest strength-based awakeners. The Seabird Guild is a large, multifaceted guild mainly active in the south. And lastly, the Blue Dragon Guild, one of the 4 major guilds. However, since Blue Dragon is the only guild with an S-rank hunter, it's considered South Korea's true Beastmaster Guild. In addition to that, the Blue Dragon Guild Master is the only non-combat metahuman among the 5 major guild leaders. He's also talented enough to recruit Han Jong. They even have an S-rank appraiser, which is even rarer than an S-rank hunter, making them a world-class guild. Huna searches for Mina's information, and basically, she's incredible. Rich, too. Huna was planning to treat her to a meal, but now she feels like even that won't be enough. Still, she has to do her best. She might have to kiss her credit card goodbye. She calls. Mina answers. She's genuinely glad Huna contacted her. Huna apologizes, saying she's been really busy and couldn't text. Mina is happy to hear her speak so politely and asks if she's free today. Now Huna finally arrives at the place but wonders if this is even the right location. She still can't believe how fast Mina responded. The shop doesn't have many customers right now. Then again, it's 4 o'clock. One of the backs looks familiar. Yes, it's Mina. Mina greets her and invites her to take a seat. Huna feels a little awkward and says it seems like she came early. Mina laughs it off and says she just stopped by to fill her stomach a little. She looks at Huna and comments that she seems like she's had a rough couple of days. It looks more like she's been struggling mentally than physically. Mina suggests they eat first. Huna gets ready to grill the meat. She places it on the grill, and the sound of sizzling meat brings a realization it's been so long since she had meat. She's going to make sure it tastes amazing. The system activates. A new skill appears, Master Chef Taste. She can't believe she got a new skill just from this. But she reminds herself to focus. It's rude to think of anything else while eating meat. Finally, the grilling is done. The two girls each take a bite. Oh, my holy grail. The moment the crispy skin touches her tongue, the juices hidden inside explode like fireworks. It feels like a festival of flavor. The meat performs a dynamic ballet in their mouths. They both look at each other in awe and immediately order 2 more servings. No, actually, they want 4. Now finally, they are done with their meal. It was so delicious that not a single word was exchanged while they ate, just the sacred sound of meat sizzling and jaws chewing. Mina, thoroughly impressed, gives Huna a heartfelt thumbs up and jokes that she must be her long-lost sister, because who else could grill meat this perfectly? She even gives her the ultimate Korean seal of approval, permission to call her Uni. After devouring so much grilled goodness, they're both feeling a little greasy. To cleanse their souls and stomachs, they decide it's time for a drink plus some pork skin, of course. This marks their 7th additional order. Meanwhile, poor little Huna discreetly checks her bank balance, only to come face to face with a shocking reality. She looks at the bill like it's a horror story. Did she really eat this much? Her soul briefly leaves her body. She's even wondering if it's possible to pay for a barbecue meal in installments. Just then, Mina tilts her head and asks if she really thinks she's going to pay. Huna, mortified, mumbles yes, reminding her that Mina did save her in the dungeon, after all. But Mina brushes it off casually, saying she invited Huna out to celebrate and that technically, she should be the one paying her, especially after tasting meat grilled so divinely. Mina even jokes that for a moment, she genuinely thought Huna had cast a spell. Huna clears up the misunderstanding and reveals the true secret behind her heavenly barbecue, a skill called Master Skill Touch. Mina nearly chokes on her drink. This girl awakened. With housekeeping skills? She suddenly gets all serious and declares that she needs Huna's meat grilling powers in her life and asks if she can use the skill too. But Huna waves her off like a grumpy grandma and says she'll just grill the pork skin for her instead. Then Mina, still fascinated, wonders what exactly Huna plans to do with her mysterious meta abilities. Huna sighs and says she's job hunting since her old company shut down. This makes Mina frown. She awakened into a special class, and she still wants to get an office job? Mina rants. In this world where machines and candies that help regular people awaken are all the rage, and where classes like Huna's are rare and powerful, how could she waste it all on something as dull as paperwork? But Huna calmly explains. Yes, she awakened. No, she doesn't want to become a hunter. She tells Mina how her parents died 10 years ago during the first dungeon break, like many others. After that, it was just her and her older brother. He awakened as a D-rank hunter and kept going into dungeons to support them both. He'd be gone for weeks, sometimes months, and she never knew if he'd return safely. He'd always come home injured. That's why she wants a stable job, so he can finally stop risking his life and they can both live without fear of the next dungeon dive. Mina puffs her cheeks in frustration, asking if she really plans to waste her skill on housework. Huna shrugs and says, well, she could open a barbecue place, maybe. But Mina protests, saying Huna is looking at awakened life in a way too narrow. Hunter is just one job among many. There are loads of awakened people out there, and not all of them fight monsters. Still, Mina drops the topic and says they should focus on drinking. After hearing all of Huna's emotional backstory, she suddenly declares that Huna's home sweet home is truly amazing, especially since it's a space only she can summon. Huna, blushing from the praise, says it may sound fancy, but it's not all that. To prove her point, she shows Mina a photo of her studio. Mina's expression instantly drops. She says she wouldn't have taken that room even if someone paid her to live in it. But Huna reminds her that she literally just called it incredible 2 minutes ago. Mina throws her hands in the air. What else is she supposed to call this disaster zone? Dirty Palace doesn't even cover it. Huna defends herself, saying that's exactly why she's been cleaning it nonstop for 3 days. Mina doubts whether such a place can even be cleaned, but when she sees the updated, spotless version, her jaw drops. She can't believe it's the same room. Huna says she got a lot of help from the Shreve hands, whatever mysterious helper spirits those are, and that all her housekeeping skills combined made it possible. Mina tells her, in all seriousness, she could probably go viral if she posted before and after pics online. She gets swamped with requests. But Huna says she doesn't think she has the stamina for that and she's really aiming for a full-time job with insurance. Mina now gets it. Huna clearly prefers stability. She's the type of person who'd wait at a crosswalk until someone else steps on it first, just to be safe. She'd knock on the sidewalk to check if it's stable before walking across. With that kind of personality, of course she's cut out for civilian life. Apparently, Huna has been working hard submitting resumes, but Mina playfully smacks her and asks if she's even heard back. Getting jobs these days is brutal. Huna admits she has 5 years of experience, but yes. So far, no response. Mina rolls her eyes. So basically, she's got nothing. Finally, Mina gets an idea. She asks if Huna wants to work for her guild. Huna freezes. Is she drunk? Is this a prank? She starts to rant she's just a lowly meta-class who barely survived an E-rank dungeon. Why would she ever be qualified to join the prestigious Blue Dragon Guild? Mina calmly explains that while the guild sounds all high and mighty, it's actually just a glorified company with various divisions. She asks Huna why she thinks a guild only needs hunters. Recently, a spot opened up on the custodial team. The job's hard to explain, but in short it's cleaning. But the kind that requires expertise. Huna blinks. Don't most places just hire outside cleaning companies for that? Mina explains that, since it's a guild, there's high-level security involved, and some cleanup tasks require special training. The job is tough, sure, but the pay is excellent and it's a permanent position with benefits. She asks Huna one more time, does she want the job? And Huna, exhausted, overwhelmed, and slightly emotional, nods. Of course she wants it. Who wouldn't want to be sold to a life of stable salary, insurance, and grilled pork skin on weekends? The next day, Huna stands outside the Blue Dragon Guild building, looking a mix of nervous and determined. Mina has already spoken to HR to set up an interview for her and even managed to lend her a shirt which Huna hopes looks decent on her. But Mina just pops up like sunshine, dramatically calling her the goddess of meat for showing up early. Huna practically sinks into the pavement from embarrassment. Judging from her fresh face, it seems she somehow escaped a hangover, but she still wears the expression of someone trying to convince herself last night wasn't real. Mina, ever the confident one, reassures her with a pat that's more like a friendly smack, telling her not to worry. She's clearly overflowing with confidence for Huna more than Huna has for herself. When Mina insists on walking her to the office, Huna worries about inconveniencing her, but Mina reminds her that she was the one who suggested all this in the first place, so this is literally the bare minimum she can do. Huna beams, genuinely touched by the support, thanking Mina for making her feel strong. Mina immediately squishes her cheeks like a proud mom, declaring she's just too cute and she'll definitely get the job the moment she says hi. They enter the guild, and everyone inside greets Mina with awe and familiarity. Clearly, she's a celebrity here. Huna can't help but think Mina must be really famous in the guild, considering the way people fawn over her like she's some kind of K-drama heroine. They finally reach the floor, and Mina nudges Huna toward the door, giving her a thumbs up and telling her to let her know how it goes. Huna takes a deep breath, telling herself to stay calm, to relax, to be cool, and immediately trips. No way. She's tripped. She looks down in horror and sees her shoe is stuck. By what? Gum? Glue? A cursed artifact? Who knows? Whatever it is, it's stubborn as hell and not letting go. She's pulling, twisting, practically breakdancing, but the shoe is staying. She thanks the heavens that no one saw that, and of course, someone did. A guy walks over, asking if her shoe is stuck. She looks up. Oh no! He's handsome. Ridiculously so. She mentally scolds herself now as not the time for handsome distractions. He points out the gum-like substance might be industrial strength, and tells her it's not coming off easily. Huna panics. She's got an interview to get to. He casually tells her to hold still and proceeds to pull out the entire chunk of concrete along with the shoe. The ground! He pulled the ground. Huna is shocked but grateful, thanking him while silently wondering if the gum was forged in the depths of hell. He comments that it's going to be expensive, and just then boom. The office door swings open and a voice roars, "What the hell are these noises?" Silence. The kind of silence where you can hear the guilt. The guild leader steps out and sighs, already guessing it was Han Jong again. Apparently, this is a common occurrence. He adds that the repair costs will be deducted from Han Jong's salary. Huna quickly jumps in to defend him, saying he was only trying to help, but the leader isn't convinced, claiming Han Jong is probably the same one who dropped the gum there in the first place. Before they can even continue the argument, Han Jong, ever the mysterious and low-effort type, just walks away like nothing happened. The guild leader sighs once more, motions to Huna, and tells her to come inside already. Now standing in the office shoeless on one side, Huna watches as the guild leader leaves to get her some slippers. She notices a box of wet wipes on the desk and debates if she should try cleaning her shoe herself. One swipe, and ping! Her passive skill Shrewd Hands activates. Like magic, the gum peels off cleanly. She's speechless. Han Jong's excessive muscle flexing was totally unnecessary. All she needed was a tissue. The guild leader returns, sees the clean shoe, and blinks. If she cleaned that with a wet wipe? She nods cautiously. He grins. Interesting. Let's see what else she's got. The interview begins. Her actual skill set? Housekeeping. She shows him before and after photos of her studio apartment, which looked like a war zone 3 days ago and now resembles a minimalist paradise. He's genuinely impressed, though Huna shrinks back a little, worried these skills won't mean much in a combat-heavy guild, but then she's stunned again when he casually drops the bomb that Mina is actually the team leader, not Han Jong. He explains that leadership isn't about rank or power alone, especially in dungeons. Strength matters, but good decision-making and teamwork are what truly define a leader. And Mina excels at both. Huna is floored. So floored she mentally adds another round of grilled meat to Mina's tab of gratitude. The guild leader then asks if she'd be able to start on Monday. Huna's eyes widen. Wait, was that the whole interview? He laughs. Apparently, you can learn a lot about someone in a short time. Especially someone who survives a Han Jong encounter, brings before and after evidence worthy of a cleaning show, keeps her cool in chaos defense, said Chaos Incarnate, aka Han Jong. Also, Mina, who apparently holds the highest standards of anyone ever, was the one who recommended her. That's all the stamp of approval he needs. The guild leader stands and extends his hand with a warm smile, thanks her for coming and welcomes to the company. And just like that, Huna is officially employed.